It is September 5th and I'm on my way to the fertility clinic. I don't know if this experience is gonna end up online. I guess it depends what the outcome is. Or maybe it doesn't, I don't know. I'm just gonna film it purely for myself. If I feel like it should go online, it should go online. So a couple months back, it was on the internet, I did a fertility test, like a blood test with my normal blood test, which just is like a very basic blood test. I can cue that footage. It was very brief. Everyone celebrated, city rioted kind of, but not really. Nothing was broken. We're nice. So yeah, so your neighbors all my body. Quick and easy. And the results didn't come back great. My just normal doctor didn't give me too much information, but did tell me that she thought it would be beneficial if she referred me to a fertility clinic, which is what happened like 2 months ago. And then, but it's really hard to get appointments, super booked up. My appointment was originally September 18th, but they had cancellation. So I'm going, it is 7 a.m. right now. My appointment's at 7:30. So I'm gonna go, and I don't really know what this appointment's like for or about. I don't know like how much detail they're gonna give me. I don't know if they're gonna book me in for something else and it's like preliminary. I'm not 100% sure, so I'm not super nervous. I'm going by myself. A couple people offered to come with me, but I feel like this is just something that I want to do by myself. I don't really want to have the pressure of like someone else being there, unless it was my mom. But my mom just has like another medical thing that she needs to do this morning. So I wasn't nervous. Now I'm a little bit nervous. Obviously, like not being able to have kids is a pretty big like shock to, if you ever, you know, thought about wanting to have kids. It kind of just like messes up your whole plan. I think that, you know, whatever happens, I'll end up having a child, whether that be through adopting, or I am not so set on having my biological children. I don't know, I haven't really thought that far ahead, so I'm a little, you know, it's just a lot. It's a lot of information. And if you're gonna ask why I did the fertility test, I just always had a gut feeling that I was gonna have issues. I don't know why. My gut is like so good, it's never been wrong. Yeah, I just had a gut feeling. I asked my doctor to get the test. In Ontario, you have to pay for the test, so my blood test was obviously free, and then I paid $60 or $70 for the add-on of the fertility blood test. So I'll let you know how it goes, but I just wanted to kind of share my thoughts and feelings. I definitely was very upset after getting those results back. But I've always had a little bit of time to process and kind of go through the motions of just what's realistic, what are all the different case scenarios, and now we'll actually, like, I'll be able to talk to a doctor. I'm not gonna bring you into the doctor because obviously it's super personal, but I will give you a recap after and let you know what happens. So yeah, crazy. So I'm sitting in the consult room waiting for the doctor. Definitely a little bit nervous now. I'm definitely in the waiting room as the youngest person here, and the only person without a man here, or a partner. Not that that really matters, just giving you an update of what it was like. But I just checked in and now I'm sitting in this room. All right, I know that I didn't update you after my last appointment with the fertility clinic. I will update you after to like tell you what she said and stuff. It was better than I thought it was gonna go, and she was really amazing. I'm going to the Hanam fertility clinic in Toronto, and they were just so incredible. They were like, I don't know, Dr. Redmond I think is who I had, and she was amazing. So I'm going back today for an ultrasound. It's a intervaginal full bladder ultrasound, just so gross, but yeah, I'm going right now. It's 8 a.m. so I will come back and update you after about everything. Okay, I just got home, just making myself another coffee. I'm gonna give you a little rundown. Okay, so last time I went to the fertility doctor, I like met with the doctor and she went over the blood test that I originally got. I got the blood test done through my GP. That tested my AMH levels. Obviously I'm not a doctor and like I'm doing the best I can to explain, but you got to do your own research because like I could be just like I could be confused and like, this is about me. So it's like, sometimes it's just like a little confusing. So that's AMH test I got, and then I was referred by my GP to the fertility clinic because the results weren't like what you normally see in someone my age. I think I had said this, but I got it done because I've always felt like there was something wrong. I don't know, I'm also like a huge hypochondriac. I think like everything is wrong with me and I just would rather like know exactly what's wrong with me. I don't know. Yeah, so anyway, I met with the doctor at the fertility clinic and she went over my AMH and she gave me a really good understanding, I think, of, you know, what that actually means. It pretty much just means I have low egg count, but it doesn't mean that I have poor quality eggs, which is like more important in getting pregnant. I'm not looking to get pregnant anytime soon. I just kind of try to be proactive. I'm 26, turning 27. So kind of explained to me, you know, it's more of a problem if your egg count is like dropping. So it's always good to have like a baseline test, which I think is really interesting that like, I don't know, women aren't told that, to have a baseline test so that if you do have trouble getting pregnant when you're trying to get pregnant, you know what your baseline was and like, then you can kind of go from there. I don't know, I think it's kind of strange that like you never are told that ever. You know, you only get these tests when you like are sick or when there is something wrong. But anyway, so I have a baseline test. So if I do have trouble getting pregnant in the future, I kind of know like, oh, my egg count has dropped over the last like 5 years or whatever. Whenever I decide to get pregnant, 5 years seems a little too soon for me. So she was pretty optimistic. She was like, it doesn't mean that you're gonna have trouble getting pregnant. She said if you do choose to freeze your eggs or something, that it could be because it could take like a little bit longer to get the amount of eggs that we want and whatever. So that went pretty well. She's like, now that was like a few weeks ago, and then she was like, we're gonna bring you in for an ultrasound. So that was today. They're checking for like symptoms of endometriosis. I do have really bad period cramps, and I've always had bad period cramps. And I'm sure they're checking for other things as well. I'm not 100% sure. So I did you like have to drink a liter of water an hour before your ultrasound, and you have to have a full bladder, and then they do like the stomach ultrasound outside, and then you take your pants off and you get a probe up you. And then we did like the internal ultrasound. I'm so immature, I can't even like say that. And yeah, so I did that today. And then I did a blood test as well. So I'm sure that I have another appointment with her in October, and then we'll go over those results. I feel fine. I felt really good after the last appointment because I felt a little more like positive and optimistic. So we'll see. I'm not too concerned. Ultrasounds can't tell you if you have endometriosis. The only way to actually like tell is like a surgery, and I'm not going to do that because I don't care that much to know. You should talk to your doctor if you think you have it, but like I get bad period cramps and like that's it. But it was good. This fertility clinic is amazing. Everyone there has been so incredible, and just like they're very nice, and I'm really happy I'm doing this because if there is a problem, I mean, it doesn't seem like there's a problem really, but if there is a problem, I can be proactive about it, and freezing my eggs is something I'm definitely interested in. It's pretty expensive. It's about $10,000 to $17,000 Canadian. Obviously that's different, but in wherever you are, but it's definitely something I'm interested in, just so I don't feel like a lot of pressure to have kids if I do have a problem and blah, 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 you know? I feel like incredibly grateful and blessed that I have free healthcare and I don't have to pay for all of these appointments and treatments. Like, I think about that almost every time I get something done in Canada and I walk out not having a medical bill. It's crazy. All I've paid out of pocket for this whole experience is $70 for my initial AMH test, which isn't covered. Everything else has been amazing. So I think that's really great. And if you are Canadian or Ontario, I think everyone is different, but if you are in Ontario and you are interested, like, this is all free. And I personally think it's like better to know and to like have a really good understanding of your body than be, you know, a little confused or anyway. So that's the update for now. I think my next will be after the next appointment, but yeah. Bye. I literally cannot believe it's been over a year since my initial fertility test. So I'm going back to do my 1 year AMH test to see if my levels have dropped or not. Yeah. So got my blood taken and now I just have to wait for results, and then I kind of make a decision off of there. That's pretty much it. If the levels have dropped, I'll probably then talk I'll probably then talk to the doctor again that works at the clinic. The clinic was like super well organized and like very safe, which was really nice. Let's hope that my levels are still high, because I don't want to pay $20,000 to freeze my eggs right now. It's a lot, but it's fine. Honestly, it's fine. I'm gonna go home now. Hello? Yeah, hi, speaking. Yeah. Yes. Oh, great. Mm-hmm. That's great. I'll do the other ultrasound to see like what's going on inside, but I don't think I'm gonna really do anything about the cramps or the potential endometriosis, so I don't know if it's needed. Okay, great. Thank you so much. Bye. The number was good. I'll explain later because it's very early. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm pretty nervous to film this video. I don't know why I'm nervous. It's like I filmed this video a few times, I think, and there's nothing really to be nervous about. So this is a video about my fertility, and obviously it's personal, but I sat on a lot of footage for a long time, deciding whether or not I wanted to actually put it out there. But you know, after thinking about it, like, I do think that the education is important, and like, of course, I'm not a doctor. You need to speak to professionals. I can like barely do math. Please do not take what I'm saying as medical advice, because it is not medical advice. I don't think that this subject is talked about enough until we're at a place where it's like we are trying to get pregnant. And I think there's so much you can do before to like understand your body, and I just don't think that that's like talked about enough. I am the type of person who I want to know everything about my body. I want to get as much research and I want to get as many tests as I can to like understand what's going on, so that I can be preventative or I can be proactive. I guess I'll start at the beginning. Early in 2019, I guess I was 26, so I have always felt like maybe I need to check in on my fertility. I don't know why, but I was always like, I might have trouble. Maybe it's because my periods are really bad, and even though there's no evidence, maybe it was because I went on birth control really early because of my periods. Like, I don't know. I was at the doctor doing a checkup or something, I don't really remember, and I had to get a blood test. So I was like, is there a blood test that can tell me what's up with my fertility? And she's like, well, there's a blood test that can, I think it's called the AMH test, and I don't want to get it wrong, but it's like a level of hormones determining how many eggs you have, or follicles or something. I don't know. You gotta look it up because I don't know. So I was like, sure, I will do that. And she's like, okay, well, and I'm from Canada, so my doctor's appointment was free, and my blood test was also free. But she's like, but this specific test, when they do this test, you have to pay for it. It's $70. And I was like, okay, well, it's worth it for me because I want to know. I went in and got my blood taken. I do a footage of that, and I paid my $70, and I waited. And then my doctor called me about a week later, said that the numbers were lower than expected, and they were just low. She's like, they're not alarming, but they're low. But since she's a GP, she was like, I would like to refer you to a specialist so that you can get a better understanding. And I was like, perfect, I would love that. So I got referred to the Hannam, I don't know, fertility clinic in Toronto, and my experience there was nothing short of amazing. It was so good. I ended up going alone my first time because I was like, I'm totally fine, no problem. And then when I got there, I was like, I'm actually really fucking nervous. I went in to talk to the doctor about my results. She was incredible. I think her name is Dr. Redmond. She just like talked me through it, made me understand what was going on, you know, gave me good understanding that like the number doesn't actually really indicate if you can or can't get pregnant. It does indicate like how many eggs you have, but not the quality of the eggs, and the quality of the eggs is what matters. And she just really walked me through it, and I felt very good. She wanted to book me in for an ultrasound, so just to take a look, because my periods are super bad, and she wanted to get some more information on there, if I have endometriosis, etc. I know you can't actually find out if you have endometriosis unless you have surgery, but you know, there's symptoms. So she booked me in for that, but I felt pretty good leaving that appointment. I then went in for the second ultrasound, or sorry, for the first ultrasound. And then after that, there was some talk about, you know, you probably have endometriosis, but again, can't find out without surgery, and there's no actual, like, you know, whatever. It's not as, I can deal with it. It's not like, it's fine. The kind of course of action was I was gonna wait a year, and I was gonna do the test again in a year to see if my number had dropped, because that is kind of, if the number is dropping, that's like a problem. But if the number is staying the same, I might just like have had a low number to begin with. And I think that is like what I want to stress, is like having a baseline is so important. And I don't know why that isn't like talked about, is that like now I have a baseline for what my number was at 26, what my number is at 27. And when I do want to get pregnant, if I take this test and my number's low, I can be like, okay, well, my number's dropped. But if I didn't have that baseline and my number was low and I couldn't get pregnant, I would have nothing to use, like nothing to put the numbers against. So I wouldn't know, like, did my number drop? Did I always have a low number? You know, it's like, to me, having that baseline is so important. I went back in the summer and she was like, I'll call you in a week and when we get your results, or a couple days or whatever, and we can talk through the results. And you can see my really genuine reaction in this video of my number was the same, which was great. It put me at ease for sure, because I don't want to have kids soon. My whole thing was like, if my number dropped, I was gonna freeze my eggs. But it didn't drop, so I'm feeling pretty good. But you know, freezing my eggs is an option. Freezing your eggs is very fucking expensive. And obviously this depends if you have the means to do this, because it is very expensive. If my number was low and dropped, I would have definitely freeze my eggs to plan for my future. I think family planning is something that isn't talked about enough either. So that was kind of where my mind was at. But because my number was fine, it stayed the same, like I feel okay. And I'll revisit this in, you know, 2 years or so, you know, in my 30s, when I've kind of figured out a little more. And if it's not looking like I'm gonna have kids anytime soon, like I'll probably, you know, think about freezing my eggs around like just after 30 or whatever. In the end, like, I'm so happy that I did this and I went through this, even if it was a little nerve-wracking, a little scary, like having that baseline test, understanding my body, and knowing that like there could be issues, but there also could totally not be issues, and I could get pregnant right away, which, you know, might happen. I don't have any family history of people having trouble, so I guess like I wanted to make this video to kind of just like show you my experience, and also like get people talking. If you're thinking about doing it, like do it, because it's always great to have a baseline. And this is to do with like almost anything else, like not just fertility, but having a baseline understanding of your body. It's crazy that we like can't do that. We don't do that enough, you know. Like that's kind of it. That's the video on my fertility journey. I will keep you updated, but my plan, I don't want to have kids anytime soon. I'm not ready. I am still a child myself, but I do want to have kids in the future, I think. So it was just so easy to do this, to potentially not miss out on something that I may really want. Yeah, that's my fertility journey so far. Yeah, let me know if you've gone through the same thing, or I don't know, I want the comments to be a safe place. I don't want this to be like super judgmental. Everyone's experience is so different, and it can be very triggering and very upsetting to people. So just like, let's be nice in the comments and be empathetic. That's it. Thanks so much for watching. If you have any questions, let me know. Can't really do a follow-up because I don't really have any more information for you. But you know, maybe I'll do a follow-up if I'm still on YouTube and trying to have kids. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all. Peace and love. Bye.